All right, and we are live. Good morning, team. How are we all doing today? Today is 9/3, September 3rd, 2025. Market opened at 7:30. It is now 7:30, about 40 seconds or so, about a minute. I'm going to go ahead and share my link with the team here on the Discord, making sure they all are aware that we are live. Good morning. Good morning. How are we all doing today? Markets pushed up nicely from $84 on TQQQ. Well, let's look at QQQ. Let's get there. Let's go there first. Markets pushed up from 559 after selling off of this moving average, getting rejected down to that 560 support, pushing all the way up to 570, 569, 570 here on this moving average, again getting rejected. So we'll see if we make higher highs today or if we're going to make some new lows. I put it in the wrong spot. There we go. All right, markets are selling off now. So looking at the 5-minute, it is getting rejected at that 570 level, which, hey, we already know that was going to happen. So no big issue there. Google pushed up nicely after hours, very nicely. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Google, look at that beautiful move. I called this out as well on our Discord, that it was pushing from 210 to 229, a beautiful 7% move after hours. From that moving average all the way up, that was a 9% move. Sorry. Now testing that moving average again, we're going to see if Google holds here or does it get rejected. It looks like it's going to maintain a little bit of bullishness. Apple also pushing up yesterday. Apple, very nice. Again, pushing up from those lows of 226 after hours, 239. So that was up about 5% now, selling off, retesting this moving average. QQQ, again, testing this moving average on the 5-minute. So yeah, how are you guys doing today? How was your Wednesday? TQQQ selling off. Now, I did get just a tester share, like just a, not a test share, what is it? Like a tracker share, just to have one to track the percentage as it goes up and down. Now, yesterday I did buy in the 84, 85s and then sold after I recovered slightly for, almost a break-even trade. I think I've lost like $2, something like that, $2 or $3. Then it pushed up. I was like, oh man, I could have held. So as it was pushing up, and I didn't buy at 84, I got an average price on this one of 86.59. So a little bit higher than I wanted, but nonetheless, I'm still able to at least have a tracker share available to use, right? So, okay, what else do we got going on? So QQQ, if it can hold above this moving average, it would push up slightly higher, as this was a resistance yesterday. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of that resistance line. And as you can see previously, it's bounced off of this level multiple times. Let's go ahead and get rid of these lines here. Although they worked out perfectly the way we wanted them to, basically. Patterns do tend to repeat themselves. They don't always have to, but it can happen more times than none. All right, strong rejection though, okay? This is what we were talking about yesterday in the live stream. Yesterday we were looking right here at pre-market where it was selling off, and we were talking about this support level. Well, the support level was validated, right? Pushed up, but now we're having some resistance at this moving average, okay? Just like we did here last week, we had some resistance and it struggled for a couple days to get back above it. Once it does get above it though, it can really get one of those nice green candles and really push to new highs, or at least back up to previous highs. So this is what I'm looking at on the 4-hour chart. 5 minute looks like it is holding up pretty strong right now, trying to recover. But do you see this lower low here? It's actually making a staircase down. So that is not a good indication to me that it's going to make any higher highs. And then also this resistance level up here. We got resistance at 570s. We have a downward trend forming. So I believe the market could sell off a little bit more today. Now don't hold me on that, but it is possible. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Hello. Welcome. Now, the news with Google, for everyone who wants to know, Google and Apple, they said that it pushed up because they're going to keep Chrome. That's what I got from that yesterday. Apple to a 250 target share price and then raised to a 265 share price. Okay, and we're talking from 209. From 209, they're talking it's going to go to 250, 265. I mean, that's way up there. So this thing gapped up amazingly. Let's see if it holds. Same with Apple. Let's go ahead and take a look at Apple here. They're saying Apple to 260. So 260 is a not even that aggressive of a move. And look, we got that breakout. We were talking about this breakout on Apple. This downtrend pushed above, and now it's breaking out to those maybe 259 highs, 260 highs, right? That's beautiful. That was a beautiful trade there. Needs to sell off to make new highs. So from 168 to even where it is now, a beautiful 40% recovery. All right, overall market, let's take a look. Yep, see, it's pushing down. Market is selling off, guys, so we are not green any longer. We may be turning red very soon. Making lower lows, QQQ making lower lows. All right, here we go, pushing up. Let's see. Beautiful. Woo! Nice big green move here. Maybe we're going back to green. But no, I do believe we're going to get some more selling pressure, to be honest. See how it's getting rejected right off of this. It can come back down and touch this support again. It can even go lower than the support if it really wanted to. But because of such good news from NVIDIA, which again is right here at support, so this can also push up very nicely if it doesn't sell off. And also Google. Okay, Google's just at another level. That thing is skyrocketing. There is no levels. It created new levels for itself. NVIDIA. So NVIDIA's struggling today compared to Apple and Google. But remember, NVIDIA has a larger market cap, $4 trillion market cap. So this thing influences the market. Do you like, I like this here. Do you like that? How it bounced right off of this moving average for QQQ? See this green line here? Boom, beautiful. lot of support here at this level, 568s, but there's a lot of resistance around 570s. And that's just from previous days, right? So we could even draw our charts here and we can showcase, hey, we might be stuck in this range for a little while. If this pushes back above the green line, we could be stuck in this range. Or if it breaks this green moving average, it could sell off more. And then we'll be stuck within this range here. SoFi. Ooh, SoFi selling off today, hitting our alert. So we're going to bring that down a little bit to 24.50. And then our breakout alert is now going to be a rebound alert. What happened to my other alert? There we go. So we'll see, right? If we get alerted, it should be within this little range here. SoFi could bounce off of this level and push up. So we'll have an alert for when it does come below. And we also have one if it breaks back above. But SoFi could definitely sell off even more. See how it's touching this resistance level? This moving average is acting as a resistance or a ceiling. It's trying to push it down and hold it down. Whereas companies that we're watching, that we're wanting to look at, are companies that are pushing up above, right? When it's above this moving average, it's very bullish. Everything's starting to sell off though. Following Nvidia. Here we go, let's see. See if we get a recovery or if it's just going to continue to sell off. Now, September is always, it has a record of being one of the worst months of the year. So we could see a very red month indeed. All right. What's everyone else watching today? Let's take a look at the VIX. The VIX is at 17. It's not too bad, but look how much it spiked up within after hours. Went up to 19. When it goes up to 19, we start to see a lot more selling. When it passes this 19.99 mark, goes to 20, we're going to get some selling pressure. And when it breaks this 25, market sells off, and we can get some major sell-offs, okay? That is the VIX index. Now SPY still holding above this moving average on the 4-hour time frame. When you're looking at it from a daily aspect, it's way up there, right? It's way up there. I think the market is definitely overbought to where it could come down a little. But, you know, that's just the way that is. So we have a tracker share. Could have got TQQQ for $34, you know. Same with QQQ, getting it for $401, now up to $568. Just beautiful. Century Aluminum back within our pattern here. Or did I skip sound? I think I skipped sound. I did not mean to. There we go. So sound, and this is one of those other patterns where it looks great, right? It's above that moving average. This is what we want to see. We want to see it above the moving average and the moving average going up. We don't want to see the moving average going down and it's struggling to make any progress at all. So sound, another big mover. We have our alerts set for sound. You know, if it got below 12s, we would buy. And if it gets above 15s, you know, we're going to technically would sell, but if it's above 15, we just hold, bring our stop loss up, right? Century Aluminum trading within that range, $22 back within those levels. We'll see if we get some more selling pressure down to this support level here. But in the past, this has been a solid company bouncing off of that support, pushing up to resistance, and repeating that cycle. SoFi, we just talked about, got some support here. We just talked about that, but very, very overbought in my opinion. Although people are saying, I believe this can go up to, you know, $30. The exact price target on it is actually $30 for a high price target. An average price target would be 20. and a low would be 6, okay, for SoFi. So be careful with that one. Cake, I've been watching Cake a little bit just because it's had this support level here around $60. I've been kind of liking that $60 range for some reason. It seems to be holding rather well. If we look at the 4-hour time frame too, a lot of consolidation within that $60 range over the last basically month, the whole month of August. But now it is below that moving average, so we want to make sure that we're aware that this could technically sell off more, right? We want to make sure that, well, that's on the 4-hour. Okay, that's on the 4-hour. So it's a good little indication here. But looking at the daily, this could pull back a little bit more, maybe 53, 55. And if it doesn't, it's able to push back up. We could see that 70 mark, rather quickly potentially. So just watching it on the watch list. Apple, that nice little breakout, but not doing much today. Nvidia, again, we talked about that, trying to hold support in that 170 range. Amazon, it's just kind of doing its own thing over here, just steady grinding slowly. Google pushing up. I mean, look, it's at 8% today overall from yesterday to today. That's a beautiful move for Google. Tesla, on the other hand, sold off. And we actually talked about this in our live stream, how there's these breakout areas. BMNR is up 5%. These breakout areas, so they get in these little patterns where they can't get out. And then as soon as it gets a nice break, we get a huge green candle. So same thing here. It's going to slowly grind down. Same with that pattern. And then before you know it, we're going to get a breakout. And Tesla's going to break out to 350s, or higher. Doesn't mean it has to, though. This could definitely sell off more because, again, it's testing that moving average on the 4-hour. If it breaks the moving average around 327s-ish, then we could see it sell off even more. So we're going to put a price alert below 327 and go from there. UNH. UNH is another one of those companies. It pushed up really nicely from 234 to 308, but now it's kind of stale. It's getting a little stale here around 311, 310. And so it's trading within this range. And it's a nice little range. If you look back in May, same thing, 237 up to 330s. It flatlined forever and consolidated. It tried to break out right here, got rejected, and then sold off all the way to 234. And then that grind, guys, that grind from 234 up to 313, 32% profit in 14 days. I mean, we're not talking months or years, we're talking 2 weeks. And that was a 32% profit for UNH, hitting that same support level as previously back in May. So that's why when you want to trade right, sometimes it's good to look to the left. And I know that sounds corny. I don't know where I heard it from. I heard it from somebody. But, if you want to trade, if you want to find out what the chart's going to do, what's going to happen, sometimes you can with past patterns. Sometimes patterns repeat themselves. Sometimes the same support levels and the same resistance levels will apply week after week, month after month, year after year, right? With specific companies. It's not going to work with all companies, but it can happen. So UNH, again, just at that higher level, I wouldn't want to buy it here. Let's wait for this to come back down to 280s. Maybe even back down to that support level. But this is where you'd be selling and locking in some profits or taking a little bit off the top. That way you can ride the wave comfortably knowing, hey, I already locked in profits. And then, of course, AMD, same thing, support levels. Everything is looking good. Everything's setting up for a nice breakout. But, again, below that moving average. If we can't get above this moving average, we could dream and we can wish all day for these 10, 15% recoveries above the green line, this moving average, then we can only get about a 5% return if it goes up. And even then, a 5% return is really nice. So we're going to go 164.50 for a breakout on AMD above this blue EMA. But if the market's going to continue to sell off, then this will continue to fade and go down or just consolidate on this support level. So that is our watch list. Try to keep it short and sweet for everyone. And again, looking at the same companies every day, picking a handful, maybe starting with 2 or 3, or maybe starting with 5 or 10, whatever your cap is. I wouldn't say no more than what is this? Maybe 20 or less. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. But if you could say 15 if you count VIX and SPY, but I don't really count VIX and SPY. SPY and QQQ are more like indicators. Again, VIX is another indicator. So if you took all 4 of those out, or 3 of these out, I have like 12. 12 companies that I look at every day. Yeah, we got a little skin in the game. We're up 2% earlier on one share. It's nothing crazy, but again, it's just a tracker share. I'd like to add more. Should have added more here. But again, we're just being patient. It's very early. This is what I want to bring up too. Okay, this may look good on a 5-minute time frame. Okay, looking at it from this aspect, waking up in the morning, all right, it's looking good. It's bullish. It's pushing up. Okay, hey, it found some support here. It's going to keep going up, right? But when you look at it from a 30-minute time frame, you go out. Okay, same thing with trading right. Look to the left. Same thing with trading time frames. Zoom out. Right, get a bigger picture of the overall stock and what it's doing, because this is showing me, okay, hey, we have resistance and consolidation, a lot of consolidation here, which we're getting here, right? And that's why I love to draw lines. You use this information for your own, your own stocks you're looking at. Go look at the ones you're watching right now. You might not be watching the same ones I am. When you see consolidation like this, then that means it's going to probably sell off or struggle to make new highs. And then this was a beautiful 3 stages of reversal. Rejection period, some consolidation. It's a little choppy, some consolidation, and then that nice confirmation period pushed up. Now we're looking good still. We just got to get above that moving average, and I think that's what everyone's kind of waiting for here. Now if we jump to the 5-minute, again, see, very bullish. We broke through this previous little resistance, so we can take that out. But I'm going to leave it for good measure. This can now officially be a support because it is above it. So we're making a new high technically on the day right now, because it's back above that old resistance mark. Now, as it pushes up, are we going to get back above this blue EMA and hold? That would showcase another bull run up to retest 570. If it gets rejected at this blue line right here, then we will fade away and continue to sell off or consolidate. 1-hour time frame is not looking good either, right? Consolidation, rejection. Consolidation is beginning, rejection, or a breakout. Hope this helps, guys. Hope all this information helps. On the 1-minute, it couldn't hold, so it's going to go back up and get another retest. Hope you guys are enjoying. Hope this is good information for you all. Like to do these morning live streams for 30 minutes. That way you guys are prepared for the day. You guys understand the direction of the market, at least the overall direction, right? Right now, sentiment is still bearish, I would say. It's still very bearish. Looking at the 4-hour, it's still below that moving average. On the daily, it looks good too as well, but we're going to see, potential pullback. And you saw that pullback right here to that blue EMA line. So let's see what happens. I'm excited to see what happens today. And remember, just because it's 7:30 or 8 o'clock in the morning doesn't mean you have to take a trade right now. Wait for your setup, be patient, and when you see those levels that you are waiting for, then that's when you can make that move, right? SoFi sets up, nicely on that support bounce, great. But at the same time, we're not buying UNH at an all-time high. We don't want to try to buy at an all-time high. We want to try to time it to where at least we're buying for a decent price. And that's overall trading in general, right? Day trading, swing trading, we want to get it for the price that we want to pay. I want to pay for, $85 for TQQQ. I don't want to pay $89 or $90 or $93, right? We want to make sure that we're not buying up here and then selling down here. That's a 9% loss. Buying highs, selling lows. We want to flip it, and we want to buy the lows, sell the highs. All right, looking good, guys. Looking good. Not great, but good. I mean, decent. It's trying to push up. It's not able to, but it's trying. So we're just going to watch the markets a little more. September, again, not the best month to trade. We can see this come back down very easily because this is, again, a common resistance and also a common support. Look at this. Last time it was at this resistance, it sold off one giant red candle, 1%. And then a couple days later, it pushed up 1.23%. So got another alert. OSCR. Oh, let's look at some Bitcoin real quick. What's Bitcoin doing? Bitcoin had a nice little sell-off too to 107,288, and it's been at 107,288 before, so it's not like anything new. But it is trying to push up to 111. We'll see if it catches that resistance at 111.60s, something like that. Looks like it's trying to push above, but it's having some issues getting above it today, just like the markets, right? Just like the markets. Whereas BMNR pushed up very nicely, 4% on the day. So hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. If you did, consider subscribing and smashing the like button for me. Also consider joining our Discord. It is 100% free, lifetime access. For now anyways. So get in while it is free. And go follow along with our trade ideas, my trade ideas, you know, if I'm buying, selling, are we making money, are we losing money? And you could also connect with other like-minded individuals such as yourself that want to do nothing more than learn how to master the markets and start making some real money. Remember, trading is risky. Trade at your own risk. This is not financial advice. I'm just a guy who likes to trade in his room and show you guys how I do it. This is not the only style of trading. There are multiple styles of trading. This is not the only one. I want to encourage you to find your style of trading. Take little nuggets away from some of your favorite people that you watch or some of your best trading styles, ideas, and setups, and create your own style for yourself to start making some decent money. Don't trade with money if you've never traded before. Start with paper trading. Trade with fake money. That is always a huge help, and it helps to allow you to understand, do I even want to do this, before you jump in, lose a bunch of money, and maybe never trade again. So we don't want to prevent that. We want to make sure that you start off on the right track. And with that said, I wish you all a fantastic rest of your Wednesday. It is the middle of the week. It is hump day. And I hope that brings you a little bit of inspiration and motivation to get through the rest of your week. I'll see you guys all in the Discord. Let's get after it. Today is a pool day. So we're talking pull-ups, we're talking some rows, and some bicep curls, you know, pool day, guys. That's what we're doing today, followed by a nice little morning run that we did this morning. So, all right, we're off. We'll see you guys later. Have a great day. And we'll see you all in the next one.